Hey, so it's a Sunday morning today and it's about 6:30. I woke up at 5 this morning. It was pitch black outside, as you'd expect. And honestly, I didn't feel like waking up. I've been sleep deprived all week, and it's a Sunday. Most people, 99% of the population are asleep on a Sunday. What got me out of bed this morning was the thought of, who am I going to impact today by getting out of bed and recording this? So obviously there's you guys watching this, to the young men who I'm making this for, who I'm able to inspire. Just the thought of me getting out of bed and me sacrificing sleep and effort. Like it takes a lot of effort to get out here in this park and record a video like this. Who am I going to inspire because of this? Another one is my family, whether that be my family I'm with now or my future family. What type of man am I becoming for them? How am I shaping my own character so that I can show up even when it's difficult for my future wife or my future kids? You see, a lot of young men don't think like this, right? I'm not saying that to, sort of say I'm great, but I'm sharing this message because I feel like this is what's needed in this world, is for us young men to return back to these core values that make men the great men that we used to be. One of my favorite Bible verses, and regardless of whether you're religious or not, I think this will still apply to you. But it comes from the book of John, and it comes from when Jesus said, "Greater love has no one than this, than to lay one's life down for one's friends." And the reason why it's one of my favorite verses is because it touches on this concept that I'm talking about, where as men, we are wired to sacrifice, especially for the ones who we love most deeply in our lives. And, if you don't know me, my name is Luke, and I'm making this channel because I have this calling in my heart to really inspire young men in this generation to develop into men of both strength and honor. I feel like there's definitely a problem you see in today's world, where you either have men who go around and, they use their strength to manipulate people or take advantage of other people. Or you have other guys who are really nice, but they don't have a backbone to really stand up for what they believe in. And that's exactly what we need. We need men who can lead. Like, we need those men to lead, but they don't, because they've just become weak and they're too afraid to stand up and voice their opinion. And so that is why I made this channel, because I'm passionate about this message, and I feel like what I'm speaking about today, again, the reason why I'm out here recording this is because I believe in what I'm saying. I believe in the fact that as men, we need to sacrifice for the ones that we love. Right? And the thing is about this is actually, in a weird way, when you have this mindset of sacrificing for other people, it gives you a motivation deeper than any materialistic sort of motivation in your mind that you could have. Because if it was just for money, if there was no one else to work for, why not just sit on the couch and play video games all day? Who cares about making money or, improving your confidence and your attractiveness and all these things that we as men, sort of pursue? Why would you even bother? Right? Because there's no one to sacrifice for, no one to impress, no one to fight for. And so having this in your minds of who is it that if I don't show up today, who's going to suffer because of that? Again, for me, waking up at 5 a.m. on a Sunday when I've been sleep deprived all week, I thought about who would I be letting down if I didn't? And obviously it's not, sometimes you gotta, prioritize yourself, right? Something a lot of people will say is, if you're on like a plane, you gotta put your own mask before you put the mask on for others. And I think that's great, right? That's not what a stupid fly. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say that, you should work some crappy job and, work a job you hate and not ever strive for your dreams and ambitions because, that's what your family needs, right? Like, if you need to do that, then obviously do that. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying sacrifice yourself to the point where you're not pursuing your own dreams and stuff, right? Or you don't have your own desires, you still want to have your individuality, you still want to have your mission. That is absolutely important as a man. And in a way, that actually serves others more because you are operating from this state of regulation and this state of alignment where you are able to give to others, right? So for me, I always have had this tendency where I love to give advice. I love having deeper conversations about things that mean a lot to me, right? And so that's why I'm making videos like this, right? That is me pursuing my passion, right? But it also comes with a purpose, and that purpose is my motivation. And that is to obviously inspire young men and build myself into someone who can be a leader and to really have that voice that this world needs, right? And so to the young man watching this, I want you to reflect on where is your heart at when it comes to your work. What are you really working for? Why are you spending your energy into your work? What is it for? Because as men, I strongly believe that we have been wired to sacrifice for others. we're wired to have this deep craving of wanting respect from other people. And obviously this is more than just getting respect from other people, but I don't think it's a bad thing to say that, you know, like as young men, we want the respect of others. I think that's a good and very noble thing. That's what, you know, like especially our ancestors, they would, you know, like the tribe leader or whatever would get the respect because, you know, like he would go out and hunt and stuff. And I think that's absolutely noble to want that respect. But more than that, we're also built to use the strength and the physical advantages that we have as men, and obviously is more than physical, but you know, like the capabilities that we have as men, the drive, the ambition, the strength, the physical strength, the mental strength even. We have been wired to use that to provide and to protect the ones that we love. Right, so knowing this, use it to your advantage. Right? This isn't just about the people that you sacrifice for, but also for yourself. You know, like in a weird way, this is selfish because this is like a competitive advantage where you have in your mind someone who you'd be willing to sacrifice for and who you'd be letting down if you didn't show up. That actually, in a weird way, it motivates you to push you further. Right? So it's not like this isn't something that you benefit from. But yeah, I don't know what else to say really. I think I want to get this message out because, as I said, my channel is built around helping young men to become men of both strength and honor. And I feel like this definitely touches on what so many young men need to understand. And so if you like this message, then this is what my channel is about. So I highly urge you to subscribe, and also let me know in the comment section what you thought of this video. You know, I'd love to get advice. I'm very open to feedback, so if you need to grill me in the comments if you have to, then so be it. But yeah, I'll leave you with that. Goodbye.